Right, so you are our resident filmmaker, and of course you made a little course which is available on the Portugal Club on how to shoot better video with your smartphone as well. So you've written a little course for us for anybody who wants to do that, sharing those skills. So you're much appreciated here, and thank you for being here this morning in yet another capacity. When we had a lovely lunch the other day, bacalhau à Brás. Last night, Andy, Dougie was moaning about Portuguese food, I think, or some aspects of it, talking about how bacalhau à Brás was a risotto gone wrong. It really isn't. Very traditional, and we enjoyed us, didn't we? A couple of imperials and a plate of bacalhau brush overlooking the sea there. Could have been a little bit more bacalhau in it. It
It
was
could have been, yes.
Hunt the bacalhau, but a bit of a game going on. They were very sparing with it, but it was lovely. It just felt like it had been cooked by grandma behind the scenes there. So great to see you the other day. And en passant, in that conversation, you mentioned that you were taking part. You were actually an important part of a Thanksgiving celebration in Aveiro, which then led me to ask you: could you explain that to us? What is Thanksgiving really all about for us foreigners who don't understand it?
Well, it's not quite as foreign as you might think. Actually, the Thanksgiving in the United States follows from long British traditions, actually, of various harvest festivals and Thanksgivings. During the English Reformation, there were many such festivals that were known as festivals of thanks for various sorts of things, and common throughout the world are harvest festivals, in which you're essentially giving thanks for, we're glad everything grew, so we're not going to starve this winter.
Right.
And so what happened is when Pilgrims and Puritans, two different groups coming from England to the North American continent in the 1600s, brought those traditions with them. And then the American version developed from a handful of different first Thanksgivings that occurred from roughly 1619 to 1632. The two most important being the one from Berkeley Hundred along the James River in the Virginia colony. Those folks in 1619 had a Thanksgiving upon landing because it was part of the London Company charter of their boat to do that.
Really?
So
after a long voyage, you have to
yes,
have a party, have to have lunch. Right.
They have to have lunch, exactly. Now, the more famous one and the one that is taught in school as the first Thanksgiving is the one. Let's see, that was 1621. That was in Plymouth, so those were pilgrims, and it's usually taught that the Wampanoag tribe helped them out and got them through a bad winter, and that they were celebrating that. In fact, they did have a bad winter the winter before, and the Wampanoag tribe did help them out. But in 1621, it was a yay, good harvest festival. The Wampanoag tribe did take part. But what's not often talked about is it wasn't necessarily a lot of brotherhood. The Wampanoags were kind of schmoozing the Puritans for an alliance against the Narragansett tribe.
Oh, really?
And
Right.
so a lot of the helping out and a lot of the feasting was about, hey, let's be friends so you can help us fight these guys.
Yes, we like your guns.
Exactly.
That
So
gun's really nice. Can I have a go? Yeah.
yeah, so not quite the pure thing that there's history is always a bit more complicated.
Humans being humans, right?
Exactly.
Surprise. Yeah.
Exactly. Now, the first call for it to be a national holiday was 1789, and that was George Washington who decided that sometime in November there should be a Thanksgiving celebration. And through the years, it's occurred at different times, and different states did different things. And then it wasn't until 1863 when President Lincoln decided it needed to be a set national holiday, and that's when it became the fourth Thursday of November. And then, somewhat hilariously, um, President Franklin Roosevelt in 1939 tried to have the holiday moved to the third Wednesday, because already it was apparent that the week after Thanksgiving was the start of not only the holiday season, as we call it in the United States, but the holiday shopping
Of
season.
course,
And
of
he
course.
was trying to add an extra week to that to stimulate the economy. It hilariously got referred to as Franksgiving, but it didn't go.
A
Yeah,
legacy
yeah,
that
yeah,
was never to be. Right. Okay.
exactly. So
Yeah.
it didn't go. But the whole thing today is it's for everybody.
Yeah.
If you know an American, like here in Nevada, Portugal, we have tomorrow night, actually, our American style Thanksgiving at a local restaurant. There'll be about 50 to 60 people. And it's all the things. It's the turkey and the stuffing and the mashed potatoes and the pumpkin pie and the
Soup to
whole
nuts.
authentic
Yeah. Is there
American
actually
thing.
going to be literally soup and nuts so that you can
There's going to
say,
be this is the fourth year for it,
yeah,
and the good people at Cinco Reich um, they've got it down. It's an authentic
superb.
American Thanksgiving. Now, my important role is the little spiel that I just gave you, that I stand up and give that spiel, and then also suggest everybody, we're it's an important holiday, actually probably the most important holiday in the United States, even before Christmas, because it is a feast. It is our feast,
Yes.
and family is very important to the feast. In fact, it's kind of unthinkable to have Thanksgiving alone, and so much so that
Yeah.
lots of churches, non-governmental organizations, service groups all across the United States will hold mass turkey dinners for homeless, for the poor, for people who don't have anywhere to go or anyone to be with.
Yeah.
So so having a big group in a vital for Thanksgiving is a very American thing to do, and it'll be international. There'll be people there from everywhere.
Hmm.
Um,
I like it. You
having
say so. As you say, it's for everyone.
Yes, it's for
Yeah.
everyone. I mean, and it's all religions too, because while Thanksgivings, have always been, depending on the culture and the country, harvest festivals sometimes are specifically religious and sometimes they're not.
Yeah.
In the United States, it did sort of start out both 1619 as blatantly commercial and 1621 as kind of religious, but yeah, we got to butt up to the local natives. It was the Pilgrims. It was, there's a heavy religious component there. And coming out of the English Reformation, a very religious component, and especially with the Puritans, because the Puritans wanted to do away with all the Christian holidays and replace them with days of fasting and days of Thanksgiving. So,
No shopping.
no, afraid not. They just
Not
weren't
much.
chill. They just were not chill. So,
Right.
yes. So it's for everybody, and it's for all religions and no religions. And
Yeah.
so I will be giving a secular sort of benediction, that just like what I've done now. And then, but I will be saying special thanks to our Portuguese friends and neighbors for, of course, their generosity, kindness, welcoming us to Portugal.
That's a nice
And
model. I mean, that's
yeah.
a repeatable model around the country, isn't it?
Oh, sure.
Because and it's
Sure.
like it's turning the tables in a way, isn't it? Funny enough, Vitor and Maria were sharing a graphic, an info meme kind of infographic thing about where you're likely to be offered food in Europe.
Oh, right.
It
Yeah.
was like it's country, and there were north-south divides. So like
Yeah. Yeah.
north of the UK, you'll get food. South of the UK, unlikely. France, and it was, these
Yeah.
north-south divides, and all of Portugal was where you were likely to
Oh,
get
yeah.
fed if you went to
Yeah.
someone's house. And this is a chance to do that, isn't it? It's to turn the tables,
Mhm.
literally.
Mhm.
I invite Portuguese friends to your table,
Mhm.
and bring them into this and give thanks together. And I mean, there is one major piece of thanks to give, right? Is that we are not so dependent in the way you were describing, to be thankful for actually having some food. We have come a long
Mhm.
way, most of us, haven't we? And I know that's not the
Mhm.
case for everyone around the world, and we might, spare a thought for those people who are not eating as well as us on that special day. But for many of us, we've come a long way, and we're not
Mhm.
having to give thanks for that basic idea that we made it through another year with food, notwithstanding how some of the pressure
Mhm.
farmers are feeling around the world. So that might be another option, mightn't it? A moment to thank the farmers who we take for granted, it
Sure.
would seem, as well around the world.
Well, there's no prescribed thing to be thankful for
Right.
in the American Thanksgiving, and so one of the things that I'll do as part of my talk is encourage people to share with the folks they're sitting around, what they are thankful for, and there's no right or wrong,
They're not going to be
reason.
tested.
Yeah, yeah, right, right. No, there is one way to do it wrong. If
Okay,
you
go on.
leave hungry, you're
Yes.
doing it wrong.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, I want to
yeah,
talk
yeah.
to you more about the food, because that's very important, and how
Mhm.
that might be sourced here in Portugal. But that's wonderful. And yeah, what I'm picking up is it's not a cursory. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm thankful. Can we eat now? Like, you just take a moment and really consider that. Have a pause and really go into your
Mhm.
heart about thanks, not you just stay in your head.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so that's part of my job is to encourage that.
Yes, well done, Andy. Somebody needs to do that, and
Yeah.
they'll thank you for that
No, thank you.
afterwards.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that you may get thanks.
yeah.
So the food, then we know that Perot, not the politician Perot, but the Peru is turkey here in
Sure.
Portugal, of course. Now, not usually the whole bird. You're not seeing
Oh
that. I mean,
no, no,
you're going
whole
to see
bird.
whole skinned rabbits. You're going to see all
The
sorts of
whole
things at
bird.
the butcher's counter, but you don't see many whole turkeys, do you, at a
The
butcher's counter?
the restaurateur has to go to a local farm and get three of them.
Right. Okay.
Right. Because yeah,
Yeah,
because
those people are going to be fed. So they're going to be big birds. Then we're talking
oh
about here.
yeah, yeah.
Big
The last year I saw them in the oven, and but of course, given the amount of people they have, I mean, they were 20 pounders at
fantastic.
least.
Right. Yes.
I mean, they were big,
Yeah.
and they need to be big, and so yeah. Uh, but the whole turkey is the thing, and then carve the whole thing into carving it up. Now that doesn't occur because you're trying to feed a lot of people. And last year, I don't know that anybody's trying to change it. But last year he did, a fairly typical Portuguese thing, which is you put it in and you just chop that thing,
Into
head to
portion.
tail.
Yes.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Which is fine. It's turkey and it's the flavor of the turkey that counts. Now, when my wife and I had our own Thanksgiving dinner last year, we went to Pingados and bought turkey, but it was a big slab of
Yes.
meat
Crown or something.
because
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
there wasn't any bird around it. But
Okay. So
it
for
was great.
future
It was
planning.
great.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and it does, like you say, the important thing is the
Yeah,
turkey and the flavor of the turkey. But
exactly.
ideally, ceremonially, you're talking about the whole bird. So that's a
Right.
bit of a run up. That's a bit of special sourcing
Yeah.
to do for anybody who
And
might
you
want to do that next year.
right, and you cook the stuffing in the turkey. That's the other really authentic thing.
Yes.
So the stuffing is like um, a bread hash that's
Right.
prepared and seasoned and then stuffed inside the turkey, and then it cooks in the turkey.
Very nice with all the
Um,
juice. Yes. Okay.
yes,
And
mashed potatoes are the other biggie.
well, that's what I want to ask you about the trimmings then that go with the
Mhm.
Thanksgiving turkey. What are they? Some mash on there?
Mashed potatoes, right?
Yeah.
Gravy.
Yes.
Definitely have to have gravy. So typically, you serve your slices of turkey on top of the stuffing. So you have the stuffing and then a slice of turkey on the stuffing. And then you can put gravy on that if you're a gravy person. Mashed potatoes, gravy on that if you're a gravy person. Um, Cranberry sauce is almost always involved. Green beans, quite often, depending on your family. Some people like to make sweet potatoes, especially the goopy ones with the marshmallows on top.
What?
Yeah, that some people like to do that, and then there's also oh well, my wife's family often served fried oysters along with
No, I like the sound of that.
yeah, that so that
Yeah.
was so there are regional and family variations to it, but the turkey stuffing, mashed potatoes, cranberry sauce, and pumpkin pie are the it's not Thanksgiving if you don't have those.
Okay, and you can get cranberry sauce here in Portugal.
That not it's hard.
It's hard. Okay, so a bit
Yeah,
more
it's
planning
hard.
there with that as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you say
So
sweet potatoes with marshmallows on top?
well, they make it like a casserole. I don't like it, so I never touch
Okay.
it. I never
Yes.
touch it.
Yeah.
But it's made in kind of a casserole dish, and then some people will put little marshmallows across the top. I don't understand it.
Okay, just for that extra bit of sugar in case you're missing.
Thankfully, it wasn't a tradition in my family
All
to
right.
do
Well,
that.
that sounds great. And pumpkin pie. We don't have any problems getting pumpkins here, do we?
No, yeah, no problem getting pumpkins. Now, in the US, of course, the pumpkin comes canned and spiced properly and ready to go. So every time we go to the US, we always bring back some cans of pumpkin with us because we love pumpkin pie.
Right.
And but Lola said she's determined this year to learn to make pumpkin pie directly from the pumpkin itself.
Very
Uh,
good.
yeah,
Excellent. Okay. Well, thank you very much for that. A couple of
yeah.
points coming in, as you might expect, because
Mhm.
any festival ritual is always going to have, well, we do it slightly differently where we're from, or what about this, or what about that. But you've given us a brilliant gist of the festival. And by the way, no Thanksgiving Eve, no Boxing Day thing. It's about the day and the meal.
The day and the meal. That's
Right.
it.
All right. Interesting that the Thanksgiving feast is always turkey, but the Christmas feast can be turkey, goose, ham, partridge, game. Well, sounds like going to be a good Christmas in your house, John, doesn't it? Right. One inside the other, maybe with that. And yes, this is the kind of elephant in the room in culinary terms, isn't it? If you put the dressing, as in, I think that's maybe what you call the stuffing in the turkey, you have the high potential of contracting salmonella. It's got to be cooked, isn't it? Also, dressing may dry out the turkey by drying it out. But you're going to go there, aren't you? Anyway, Andy, you're going to put the stuffing
Well,
in there.
I that all may be true. I've lived now
He's
almost
still here.
6 years and I'm still here.
You're
And
still here.
I'm not saying that's not true. It's just I know my mom did it, my grandmother did it,
Yes.
we've done it. Now, there's stovetop dressing that you
Right.
can buy.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And I've had that too, and it's exactly the taste is exactly the same. And
Yes. Yeah.
so I yeah,
And
please.
hopefully as well, it's a lot tastier than it sounds. A bread hash. I think it's all about the seasoning, right?
Oh yeah,
And the
right.
memories, and the memories it's evoking.
Exactly. No, it does taste good. If you've never had it, you should. The stuffing
I
is
want
great.
to. I really want to. This is a festival I've not, but this is a funny thing, isn't it? It's kind of the age we live in. We think we know about things with the emphasis on think. If you think you know about something, there's a good chance you haven't actually done it. So come on, let's get into our bodies, let's get into our senses, and let's do these things before we pontificate or have ideas about them. Right?
Right. Well, next year you'll have to come up for the
That sounds great.
Survivor
I'd love to
Thanksgiving.
see that. And will you be dressed up like a pilgrim or anything for this? For this, are you ceremonial in that? You'd look great, Andy, in those breeches,
I
wouldn't you?
don't know
Buckled
where I
shoes.
would get a pilgrim costume. It'd be hilarious,
It
but
would.
I
It
don't know
really
where
would.
I'd get a
Well,
pilgrim costume.
Barak's probably got one, okay? Or if anyone else has got a pilgrim outfit that we can bike up to Andy. Well, actually, we've got until the 28th, haven't we? It's the 28th this year, isn't it? Did you say the fourth Thursday?
I believe, yeah, whatever the last Thursday is. I think it is the 28th.
Yeah, that is the 28th, indeed. So just less than a week to go
Right.
until Thanksgiving. Thanks, Andy. Much
You bet.
appreciated. All right, and have a bon fin semana and happy and oh yes, you don't wish a happy birthday to a Portuguese person before their birthday. It has to be on the day. A Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. You say that's reserved for the day, is it? We don't
It's
say that
pretty
now.
much reserved for the day. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a pretty confined thing.
All right, mate. Have a good
All right.
one.
Okay.
And I'll see you again soon, I hope. All right.
it easy.
Weekend Muffins. Ciao, ciao. There he goes. Andy Cline, everyone. Right. A fantastic introduction. And yeah, let me share with you as well, of course, his movie making course as well. There is a link for that in the chat as well. This is how to make great movies using your mobile phone, your smartphone. Oh, the Portuguese has linked as well to his little China shop. I think that's a pretty good video. He may or may not need Andy's course, but I think anyone, whatever level of skill they think they have, will learn something from Andy's course, which is available, downloadable from, or you do it online, actually, not downloadable. You do it online. Although school do have an app, so you can look at that on your smartphone while you're learning how to make better movies with said smartphone.